going to now share my screen. Yeah, here's the share button here.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go, guys. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Voila.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay. I'm wondering if I turn my screen this way, will it rotate it full screen? Huh. All right. Well, I'm going to rock with it here. I'm not sure. It's not
Mm-hmm.
full screen, but we're going to talk about our one of our favorite topics and our favorite product, which is Noni. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's known as the miracle fruit. It's an amazing fruit, and we're going to get into the inside of what makes this product, and particularly how we design this product so amazing. So, did you know that every since in the year 2017, they noted that 11 million people died that year, and their deaths were associated with a poor diet. So that is a really a big number that is directly related to something that people can control. So a lot of you have heard about cardiovascular disease, meaning attacks and things that are going to really help that affect your heart health is the number one killer, right? And continues to be year after year, followed by cancer and type 2 diabetes. So let's continue to talk about the state of health of most individuals. The Lancet Global, which is a research forum, they noted that 1 in 5 deaths was associated with poor diet, as we said. And so when people typically are having issues with a poor diet, what they normally do, especially in Western medicine, is they go directly to the doctor, right? And so with the doctor, what they tend to do is provide medication as a way to deal with some of the issues that are caused by a poor diet. So if people are really, if they are simply relying on a method such as medicine or surgery without treating the root cause, guess what happens? Even after the surgery, even after medication, the issue reoccurs. And I can certainly speak to individuals that I know personally that go this route on a regular basis. However, the core habit hasn't changed. Therefore, the issue, whether it be inflammation, high blood pressure, it reoccurs because the diet hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk a little bit about how to eat. Okay. In order to prevent and cure diseases, eating should become a different way of how we view our food. We need to ask ourselves 3 things. You should ask yourself, um, is the food that I'm eating right now, is it healthy? And number two, is it something that my body is lacking? Right. And then number three, is this what I'm going to eat? Is it going to be good for my health? And so every day we all make these decisions to ingest things in our bodies. I know I'm guilty as anyone else. I'll go maybe get a sugary drink now or there, here or there, maybe a candy bar every now and then. But those things are done in extreme moderation, meaning that maybe once or twice a month. Maybe it takes months before I'll go get a candy bar, right? Um, I know somebody here on the call, I mean, around the holiday time, candy keeps showing up, but that those candies will sit there for weeks, if not months, or be given away because that's not a way of life for me anymore. Where I would just sit there and consume, and then have the regret of eating all of that. Now your body has got to go through all these changes to rid itself of this something that you had control, but you chose not to have control, and you consumed it anyway. Okay, so we it's easy to get caught up into eating unhealthy. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that happens when you eat unhealthy. And there's a big word here on the screen, and that word is inflammation. Inflammation occurs that in every part of the body where it could be you can notice your feet, your limbs, your arms. You notice the swelling, right? You notice the pain that will become as a result of the body staying in an inflamed state because of the foods that we're eating, right? And if the body continues to stay in a state where it is inflamed, right? Because inflammation is basically part of the biological response of the body tissues to harmful stimuli. So if you're stimulating yourself with harmful foods, guess what the result is going to be, right? You're going to be looking at cardiovascular disease, bone or skeletal disease issues, chronic inflammation, diabetes, even, right? And we know that's caused by, ingesting and taking in way too much sugar that your body can handle, and it just starts to become a problem. In addition to cancer and other metabolic disorders. So these are things that are caused when you have chronic inflammation going on. But again, if you step back from this inflammation, you look at what am I ingesting in my diet. In Western diet, one of the number one ingredient in salt. So
Mm-hmm.
we learned that by going to success seminars and other places. So it is important that we reduce that inflammation. So when you don't eat healthy, don't get enough exercise, or have too much stress, the body responds by triggering inflammation. An internal medicine physician said at Scripps Clinic in Carmel Valley. So chronic inflammation can have damaging consequences over the long term. So the food you eat, the quality of sleep you get, and how much exercise, they all really matter when it comes to reducing the inflammation. So we have here a layer here, and you see the tissue here. And inflammation basically is just a swelling, which is part of the body's natural healing system that helps fight injury and infection. But it doesn't just happen in response to injury and illness. An inflammation response can also occur when the immune system goes into action without any injury or infection to fight, right? And that's what food does. Food activates, or bad foods activates the inflammation, and our bodies go into this response fight, and then you start to see the swelling, right? So these are some of the issues that are going on, as you can see there. So let's talk a little bit about aging and the immune system. And I thought this was a really important piece to mention. Beginning with the sixth decade of life, the human immune system undergoes dramatic age-related changes, which continuously progress to a state of immunoscience. The aging immune system loses the ability to protect against infections and cancers, and fails to support appropriate wound healing. So, as you can see here, as we age, the body absolutely starts to go in decline by our sixth decade, by our 60s, right? For me, that's 2 years away. So I am on high alert to make sure I monitor things that because they bad foods, they absolutely show up in my body a lot more pronounced than they did before, because and so as my immune system is naturally weakening, right, that is a concern. And so this is something we're going to talk about. Immunosense is the aging of the immune system, and is characterized by a decline in the immune system ability to respond to pathogens and cancer cells. The decline is caused by a number of factors. So with the reduction of your B cells and T cells, those are your white blood cells that fight off the inflammation in your body. You really start to understand that you need to help those T cells and those B cells that are working for you. As they're getting weakened, they cannot, and as the illnesses are still swarming around us, as they start to attack our body, our response is going to be weakened as we age. So, what is our defense against such an attack on our bodies, right? And that defense, for everyone I call, and we know this, is what is the power of the Noni juice. And this is why we absolutely talk so highly about this Noni juice, because of the properties contained in it that help fight off and build our immune system to fight off pathogens that are there to attack and cause illness. So, what I want to talk about is, in our Noni juice, we have a fermentation method that is so powerful, and we're going to go a bit into that. So, Atomy fermented is a Noni juice made from 100% Noni juice from Vietnam with no added water. It is fermented for 1,440 hours and aged twice. So, in addition to coconut sugar that's added, to give it a little bit of sweetness, because the natural Noni juice can be very bitter, but we're not putting any additional additives or sugars. 100% organic that products that go into the making of Atomy juice. And I love the two-time fermentation process. That's critical, because we want that product, it's even safe enough to give to a small child, because it has been processed in a way to remove any impurities in the process. So this premium Noni juice extract Can you guys see my screen? I know I'm kind of
Yes, yes, we can see. Yeah.
okay. So our juice is 100%, as I mentioned, harvested from our farm that is in Java Island, Indonesia. It is enriched through nutrition through 1,440 hours of fermentation, and it is created through a joint research with the government-funded research institute. Okay. Noni juice is also considered, they call it a gift from God because it contains plenty of beneficial substances that are absolutely needed and powerful in our bodies. So let me talk a little bit about that process. So there's 200 kinds of beneficial phytochemicals from noni. So these are phytochemicals are plant-based chemicals that are in noni juice. So they are all of these names here. Pyroxene. I'm not going to try to pronounce those words because I don't want to, mess them up. But this is what each of those areas contain. They contain 7 types of minerals, 18 types of amino acids, and 12 types of vitamins. So the list is very, very extraordinary, what's contained in noni, right? So you look at the minerals, we're talking about calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, sodium. These are minerals typically that you would have to go out and buy separately to supplement what you already have going on with your regular diet and vitamins. That's already contained here in noni. In addition, it has 18 types of amino acids, and amino acids are critical in the body. So you can see there's a whole list of all of those amino acids, and then 12 types of vitamins, which vitamin A, B12, vitamin C, E, beta carotene, folic acid, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pathogenic acid, vitamin B6, and biotin. All of that is contained inside of a serving of noni juice, which is powerful. This screen here is a little interesting here. Not sure how it looks on your side. So, and this is I got to paint a list of some of the benefits, right, that could be contained by consuming noni juice. So it can give you energy. So it can boost the physical activity, energy levels and also help you fight fatigue. It's an anti-inflammatory. So remember, I'm going to talk quite a bit about how the body becomes inflamed. And so what noni does is absolutely attacks those areas to reduce those any sort of pathogens, to reduce the inflammation, because it has those inflammations. It's going to help you relieve your joint pain and your muscle. It's going to ease your muscle pains, especially with an individual who have arthritis. And I will say, and I just noticed this with my own self, my hands, because I'm getting older, right? I'm 58 now, has typically over the years just been really stiffening up. I mean, they'll go into place and I got to pop them out. Particularly my hands been awful. I will say that since I've been using the noni juice and taking it for the last, 4 or 5 months, I have rarely had issues with any inflammation in my hands anymore. Right? They don't lock up. They don't. And I'm noticing that. So and it's actually helped me increase my mobility in my hands, which is just great. So it also contains natural anesthetic, which can really help relieve painful conditions such as arthritis, right? Psoriasis and repetitive motion injury. So I can tell you, I absolutely have seen that benefit. So again, a serving of noni juice contains this part here just blew me away. So noni in itself is more powerful than 143 kiwi, 100, and it's going to take 140 tomatoes and 121 lemons just to equal the power of what you have in your noni juice, right? Or mangoes rather. So by far, I used to always think about the blueberries, the blackberries, as having these powerful anti-inflammatory other benefits, but noni blows any fruit on this planet out the water. Okay, so it's 120 times more plant-based minerals inside of a noni bean, and also it is a number of enjoyed types by food. I mean, again, what was it? Cranberry juice, right? Blueberry and cranberry juice, and even a Japanese cornelian cherry. This noni has 19 times more benefit, even from that powerful product. So I know that noni is a integral part of my daily regimen. and because of how powerful it is. And again, we talked about the fermentation and how many hours of it, because the fermentation process is critical, because you want to make sure, excuse me, I was about to sneeze, make sure that our product is good, good enough for a child to consume it, right? And it contains natural sugars in it, so we don't have any processed sugars at all. So it creates a great organic product for the body. So as we wrap up our understanding of our noni, so we talked about, oh, no, that's another flower. We don't need that. So that's it. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that piece for you. Okay. So how did that go, huh?
Very
Yay.
good. Wonderful, wonderful.
Very good. Yes. Every time I see this,
Yeah.
come with something there or something different. But I'm hoping that I'm clear so that people continue to understand how powerful and good this product is.
Yes. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Pam. It
You're
was
welcome.